it is the biggest FU to the hockey gods, and they go, watch this, your team's cooked.
And you need to put that shirt down, use it as toilet paper, buddy.
I'm not a rocket scientist or something, but I feel like Stuart Skinner should be somewhere in this picture.
I seen that too.
He was in the corner.
Hey, wait here. Right, like they all.
Like, what is going on?
That's a good shot. I like that.
I had to, man.
Welcome back, everybody, to episode 65 of the Gameday Tarps podcast. Just a reminder, this week we've started doing our GDT lives. Daeden and Colton are running those head on. Today's first show, fantastic. It's not going to be today when we upload this video, but today when we record, fantastic video, gentlemen. That was awesome. So everyone tune into that. Subscribe to YouTube so that you do get the notifications. And obviously follow us on all social medias where it'll be posted, especially on X. It was on Twitch as well, and we're trying to get it on Instagram. And then all these episodes, I think we don't really hammer this enough, but all these episodes do go out on places like Spotify, Apple Music, and all that. So go ahead, and if you're just driving and you want to listen to us talk hockey, turn it on in the car. But without further ado, gentlemen, Stanley Cup Finals tomorrow, today when we release this. Today it will be Edmonton, Florida rematch, really. Like, what a crazy event that this has become. I didn't think the Oilers could do it, to be honest. I don't know about you guys, but here they are.
Well, you almost just gave a perfect segue there. You didn't think the Oilers could do it. Connor McDavid thought the Oilers could do it, and he said they were pretty much prepared to be here all season long. Should we roll that one?
Yeah, go for it.
That we know that. It takes a lot. You got to play a lot of good hockey. You got to have a lot of bounces go your way. You got to make your own luck in a lot of ways as well. So I would say, is there doubt? I don't know. We've always been preparing to be in this moment.
So, yeah, that was almost a perfect segue there.
Well, I'm glad I could. But what a beard. He's playoff ready.
Locked in.
His beard wasn't that full last year.
No, he's ready. You can tell. But before we get to that, we got to talk about the Stars fallout and what kind of happened there. What happened with Otter? What happened with just the Stars just completely falling apart? What did you guys make of Pete DeBoer pulling Ottinger? And yeah.
I just have a quick question. Did DeBoer win with Vegas, or was that Bruce Cassidy?
That was Cassidy.
Okay, so because I'm pretty sure I heard that DeBoer has never won a conference final. Even though he's never lost a game 7, he's never won a conference final. I'm pretty sure that's what I saw in the Edmonton-Dallas series. I could be wrong. I just think I saw that. But to me, it was a total panic. He folded their game for them. Like, both goals were not Otter's fault. And maybe if he pulled them aside and said, "Hey, I'm going to give the boys a jump here, and I'm gonna take you out and force them to play harder in front of DeSmith," fair enough. But screaming at him to turn around and get his ass back on the bench, and then the whole thing with Ray Ferraro talking about him on TV, and then now he's questioned about it in interviews. I mean, DeBoer can't stay. You have Ottinger locked down, right? And apparently lots of guys didn't like how that was handled in their exit interviews. So, I mean, DeBoer, to me, he's gone. It was such a panic move. I don't know if I've seen anyone panic like that, really.
Yeah, I will say that's tough to have to go sit right beside, Ray Ferraro wasn't even in a box between the benches. He was right beside Ottinger. And to have to, he's just doing his job, really. But to have to say that and look to the left and be like, damn, this guy's right there, that'd be tough.
Ferraro was on What Chaos, and he literally said Ottinger was watching the replays as he was talking about them on the screen that he's got. And you know what, to me too, DeSmith let that one in right away. You don't panic twice and pull DeSmith that moment. But end of the first, you put Otter back in, don't you?
I don't think. See, the thing is, to me, pulling Ottinger is doing something you should never do in the playoffs, especially if you've rode him the whole way. It's almost like the Winnipeg Jets pulling Connor Hellebuck for Eric Comrie. Like, it
Yeah.
just wouldn't really be reasonable, because it's like, man, he's Jake Ottinger for a reason. He's Vezina candidate Jake Ottinger for a reason, and you're just gonna yank him in a season defining game? Okay.
Yeah, there's like 5 goalies in the NHL you don't pull, and he's one of them.
Yeah.
There's Vazzy, Bob, Hellebuck, Ottinger, probably Shesterkin,
Yeah.
right? Like there might be
Yeah.
1 or 2 more that you would stick with.
Maybe
But
Thompson.
yeah, maybe. But they also trusted Charlie Lindgren. So if he's having a bad moment, like Carolina, I mean, Carolina personally, this is a totally separate topic. It just came to my mind. They should be calling Washington on Charlie Lindgren. They need a goaltender. And Charlie Lindgren just being a backup when he's clearly a good enough starter. Like he's better than both Kachekov and Anderson. That's just total side tangent, but that's just my thought.
Right. He did start a few games. He started like half the season in Montreal. He wasn't the best, but I don't know. I think every goalie in Montreal kind of has to live up to had to live up to the expectations of Carey Price. So like, it's not fair.
Do you think when it comes to Ottinger, if DeBoer had just called a timeout and had 30 seconds to take a fucking breath, do you think he would have realized what he's doing and wouldn't have pulled Otter? Because like it's
No.
like you say, it seems like it was a desperation act, and if he was doing it out of emotion, like if he had 30 seconds to kind of like calm down and think about what he was going to do, because it was like Brian Burke said on the sheet with Jeff Merrick, like like you can blame the assistant coaches as well. Like they should have calmed him down. Like they should have been there to calm DeBoer down. But like I don't know if that's the case. Like I don't know if your assistant coaches need to calm your head coach down. You know what I mean?
One thing I'm wondering too is like obviously this hasn't come out or anything, but do you think he told the goalie coach to
Well,
to pull Otter? And do you think the goalie coach ignored him and didn't tell the Smythe to get ready, knowing like the goalie coach is the coach of the goalie. He knows Ottinger better than anyone. He watched the first 2 goals. Their season's on the line. Do you think he just looked DeBoer off? Like we probably will never hear that, but usually that's who the coach tells to tell the goalie to get ready.
me
For him to snap on the ice like that, I don't know.
maybe, but it was brought up today somewhere. I think it was the sheet again, or maybe it was what chaos, but it was brought up today that they had talked about starting DeSmith in game 4. So like maybe the idea wasn't such a panic move after all. Maybe it was something that they were already thinking about doing, and then the 2 goals happened so quickly, and then DeBoer just said, all right, fuck it, DeSmith's going in now. But
Yeah.
it's hard to say, right? Like we're not going to know. And then the other fallout of all this too, like we might circle back to this too, like on Otter, but is like the trade talks that are surrounding Dallas now, and like what's going to happen there. And like, you know, Jeff Merrick said today that it sounds like, you know, everything in Dallas's camp is like they're going to keep DeBoer around. So then do players start asking out if players weren't happy? And then the one player that keeps popping up obviously is Jason Robertson. And like Ryley, you said it last night, like some of the deals out there are just laughable. Like it's like Dallas wouldn't even pick up the fucking phone, let alone listen to some of these offers. But the one offer that I wanted to run by you guys today that I heard, which is interesting, is Dallas trades Robertson to Carolina and they get their 2 first-round picks back.
I think Carolina would do that if Dallas is desperate enough to move his cap hit. But what 2 years ago wasn't he top 5 in league scoring? Yeah, like, and he was hurt this year. I don't. This to me is now the GM panicking.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's true.
Like what he was hurt all year. All they kept and they kept saying Jason Robertson needs to step up. He needs to step up. And then he had a 2-goal game in one of those. Was it the last game or the second to last game? Like
second to last, I think.
Like, and I don't even
So-
like this conversation because these are the young guys. Like, but Wyatt Johnston was a minus 18. Yes, take plus minus
Well, and
as
that's-
you want to, but like,
Yeah.
and he was a
That was
ghost.
one player.
Yeah, go ahead.
He was. No, I was just saying that was another player that people are kind of bringing up too. Is like Robertson. Like, but does Dallas need to do something this desperate? Like you're talking about Robertson, who's coming off like back-to-back 80-point seasons after putting up 100 and whatever it was, right? In 2023 or 2022. But still, like, it's more of a desperation act than anything. Like, I don't think anybody in Dallas like needs to make this type of move, let alone fire the coach. Like, I think
Yeah,
everyone
and
just needs to
when you get
take a
younger,
month to relax.
yeah, like your goal should be your untouchables should be Otter, Robertson, Heiskanen, Hanley,
Johnston,
Harley, sorry, and
Johnston,
Yeah, those should be your
Johnston.
5.
Johnston.
Yeah, Johnston.
Yes.
Yeah. He's in the
There's
5.
no way he
But
goes.
even Essa Lindell should be on the table before any of those guys. And Essa Lindell's incredible, right? Like Jamie Benn, Tyler Seguin, like
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with Ben this year. He's up for contract, obviously, but I bet you he sticks around. There's kind of no reason he wouldn't, right? So we'll see.
Yeah, just excuse us here, fellas. Riley's cat was stuck in the litter box. Back to you, Colton.
So let's talk a little bit about the Florida Carolina series, just because like the one dilemma that I wanted to talk about, and that was the hand. I mean, wait, hold up. We gotta talk about that guy's dominance first of all, because he was fantastic in the entire playoffs and fantastic in that final game. So shout out to Logan Stankoven and
yep. Their best player.
congrats to him on a big playoff. Damn right. Damn fucking
Yeah.
right.
Maybe not their best complete player, but he brought offense and he brought creativity to
him
every
and
game.
Slavin. Him and Slavin.
I thought Slavin dropped off, but he didn't drop off like Orlov did. Holy cow, Orlov fell off a cliff in that series.
Yeah. But the handshake dilemma. What the fuck? What do you guys make of that? Because that's just ridiculous.
Joke. No,
Yeah.
I think it's ridiculous. Like the coaching staff are just as much a part of the team. And we wouldn't have had the DeBoer Scheifele moment. Right? Like you have to have. I don't care what I don't know what Maurice is thinking because he did it the series before. He did it versus Tampa. Like I don't know why he thought all of a sudden in the Eastern Conference Final, the semifinal of the league, because now he's going to shake the Oilers' hands at the end of the playoffs, regardless of how it goes.
Does
right?
he? Does he?
Like-
Or now does he have to stick up to what he said and be a man of his word and not shake hands?
Well, if I'm Chris Knobloch, I shake his hand outside of the line, and then I go in line and I shake the Panthers players and make him look like an idiot.
100%.
Because it's just like, what are you talking about here? You don't want to shake my captain's hand. You don't want to go through the line. Like,
Or what?
Do what the junior coaches do or whatever.
what
Am
do
I
they do?
fucking lagging? Oh,
A little
I'm gonna
bit, but I
check
heard you
this.
there. What do they do?
One sec. Like in junior, they the coaches stand on the benches. The players are the ones that go to the center ice and handshake, and the coaches don't. Coaches, I think they just handshake each other from their benches. So why don't they just do that? Then there's got to be none of this bullshit.
That's what they did, though. That's what he did is he handshaked Rod. But that's just not the NHL playoff tradition, right?
Yeah,
Like,
no, that's fair.
I don't know.
I don't know. I get it.
I don't like it.
No,
I get it.
because
fair.
what is it, a minute
Okay.
and a half? Like, but for time wise, realistic time, each guy's taking like a minute 30 seconds to get through the line. Like, really, it's not. We're not talking about a 30-minute
Yeah, it's
goodbye session. Like, It's pretty quick,
It's like the
regardless.
national anthem. Get rid of it.
Whoa. You get some magical stuff like the Oilers fans singing "Oh Canada" in the crowd versus an American team. That's some special. Dude, I had the chills when they did that.
It's true.
I've got a question for you,
It's
Ryley.
true.
Yeah.
You played
Um,
hockey growing up. Like a championship game. I gotta take this mic apart for a second. It's making me mad. Let me mute it. So in a championship game,
Yeah.
after you win, you're both teams are on the blue line, and the second place team goes up, gets their medal or whatever.
Yeah.
Gold place team or the first place team, gold medal winning team, comes against their medal. Are you a fan of after you get your medal? Are you a fan of them continuing on, going down the opposite line and shaking hands?
I don't really care. I mean, what we did. So our team won a tournament this year, and we came second. We shook hands. Like they celebrated when they won. We celebrated when we won. Then we shook hands. Then we lined up on the blue lines.
Okay.
So it was like, yeah. So basically, everyone met at center ice. Then they went to their respective blue lines. So
Maybe it's an East Coast thing.
it could be. Yeah. It's just not something that we do. But either way, like definitely the handshaking happens regardless.
Yeah. Oh, we
For sure.
sometimes it happens twice. Like when I was playing, teams would celebrate. We'd go to center ice, shake hands, and then line up on the blue line, and then go get their medals. And then once you get your medal, you continue on the other down the other blue line, shaking everyone's hands for a second time.
No, double's just rubbing it in.
But but sometimes you have buddies on the other team, and you're like, yeah, sorry, man.
Yeah.
You suck.
You can see him after the dressing room or something. Two handshakes is too much.
Too polite.
What do you got
Speaking
next?
of
Cole?
polite, Florida's depth.
Is polite?
You want to talk about that? No, they're not polite.
They're rude AF.
Buddy, they will come into your barn and bounce you around.
Damn right.
Their bottom line is crazy. Even the guys they have scratched are good.
Yeah. You want to flash that lineup up?
Yes. 1 second.
Or you could just read it off if you have it there. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it might take me a sec. I gotta figure out which one it is. There's your defense pairings.
Okay, well, yeah, we can start with the D.
Well, Nico Mikko has been insane. So start with him.
I don't know how people have been saying that Edmonton's defense clears this defense. It just doesn't.
Well, no, it does not. 1 second. I'm pulling up the Oilers on my phone. I want to see what their defense score is.
It's
Compare.
Bouchard, Nurse, Ekholm, and Wallman.
Kulak, Wallman, and Klingberg. Yeah.
Kulak, Klingberg, or Stetcher. Yeah, it's Bouchard, Nurse, Ekholm, Wallman, Kulak, Klingberg, or Stetcher. And like Kulak has been great. Wallman he's been kind of 50-50. Sometimes he's been down, sometimes he's been up. Ekholm is just coming back from injury. He looked good, but is he good enough to play against the Florida Panthers with how they just pound defenders in the corners?
Yeah,
I don't know. And Bouchard is a turnover machine with pressure. That second round, he was so bad because of the forechecking pressure. Like he redeemed it because the second round, because Dallas didn't really put the same forechecking pressure on that he got. Who they play in the second round? I'm blanking it. Edmonton played Vegas. Yeah, Vegas is forechecking pressure, which is very similar to Florida's. Like Bouchard was a turnover machine in that series. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, I get it. I don't know. I think when you look at it, like Florida's depth is crazy. honestly. Like the third line of
Yeah.
Losterinen, Lundell, and Marchand, and then you got Boakfist, Nosek, and Gadjevich. And I mean, Boakfist has turned into just a heck of a player for them on that bottom six, right? So
There we go.
there you
That's
go.
the power play units.
Evan Rodriguez on the first unit is insane. But
They put him net front because he's good.
yeah,
He,
I mean,
he does have good hands.
he's been lights out for them lately. So I get
Reinhardt
it.
does top of the key.
That
Barkov and
second
Kachuk
unit
run the
is
wings.
that second unit. Let's take a look at that for a sec. That's deadly. That's better than some team's first power play unit.
Yep.
Well, you compare it to Edmonton's second PP unit, which is Kane, Henrique, Arvidsson, Klingberg, and Wallman.
Compare it to their first.
Wow.
That
Connor
doesn't
McDavid
match up.
clears everybody on that second power play unit. But yeah,
McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman, Nugent Hopkins, Bouchard. That's
Hyman's injured, but yeah,
right. Well, hopefully he's back.
he's not back. He's not playing in the final.
At all?
Nope.
Oh,
No, he's out for the season.
Yeah, he's done. They
Well,
get Corey
not
Perry
the
though.
Series, I
what
guess.
did he get injured with? I didn't even see the injury. Was it a
His
hit?
leg, I think. I can't remember.
What
Yeah,
about
it was-
Reinhardt?
Well, since
No,
we're
he's
talking
playing.
about injuries, do we want to talk about the physicality?
Yeah. Bring it up.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Well, let's just talk about it first.
Well, we know that we just talked about a couple of those guys, like Nico Mikkola. The dude's gonna run some of those Oilers players. But on the other side, Oilers have Trent Frederick. The Oilers have Evander Kane. The Oilers have
Now I wish I would have grabbed the Trent Frederick clip of him going off at PK. I love that.
Yeah, true. That was a good one. But I don't know. Like it's gonna be a
That's in
physical
people's
series.
heads.
Like Frederick's gonna go after Marchand.
Yeah, that's
Think
going to be a
about-
matchup.
Think about what happened last year. Marchand fucking dove and punched Bennett in the face.
Yeah.
Now they're
Yeah, but
teammates.
that's because Bennett took his head off.
Yeah.
Now they're
Out of
teammates.
that hit where he
Now they're
knocked him
besties.
out.
Yeah, they're besties.
But why is Frederick going after Marchand?
Because he was the one that he tried to go after Marchand originally, because he was on Boston when that one happened. So
I guess so. Yeah.
yeah,
I guess you don't always like all your teammates, so you never know. Guy could have secretly
so now
hated him.
he's gonna go after him. You never know. But I don't know. Like it's it's Corey
think Florida-
Perry. Is the one guy I look at.
Because he's cursed.
Don't
Isn't he like
The
37
worm?
now?
He's 39.
he's-
No, he's 41. 41?
okay.
I don't know,
I didn't think he
he
was
said
that
he's
old.
playing again next year, so
Bro.
But yeah, Nico Mikkola, they toss in Gadjevich, they toss in AJ Greer. Have fun. Holy smokes.
no, here it's not just the Oilers. Though. Like we can't disrespect the Oilers. There is no team that matches this physicality of the Florida Panthers.
No.
None. It doesn't. They might be the most physical team since the Philadelphia Flyers, Broad Street Bullies.
No.
I'm trying to think of a team. Minnesota kind of
No, the
matches them in physicality.
2010s like Bruins were pretty. They were
It's a
more
You're right.
physical.
Okay, so the 2011 Cup winning Bruins are probably as close as a comparable as.
Well, I think they're more physical than this Florida Panthers team. This team is like all around. They're an all around juggernaut, but that Bruins team was like, scary.
Okay, but the rules were different.
Okay, Ryley.
The Panthers have to play. They play a clean physical style. Lucic hit almost no one clean. It was shoulder to numbers. It was elbows to heads. It was two hands straight through the chin. He was killing guys in the playoffs. Whereas, yes, like Bennett obviously hit Stolarz,
And he scores an empty net goal, and
but they're supposedly. I mean, they're not really being held. What am I saying? They're not being held to the law at all. You know, the Ekblad on Hagel thing not getting called, and then Bennett not getting anything on Stolarz. Bennett elbowing Freddie Anderson in the head. Last series, Mikkola's hit from behind on whoever the heck that was on Tampa. Like they're playing on the line for sure.
yeah, no, 100%.
I forgot how mad I was at this team because it's been a couple days without hockey. I got to settle down emotionally.
What were you
On
going
the
to say,
flip
Golden?
side, though, I was just gonna say on the flip side, talk about Panthers players that are just lighting it up, like Sam Bennett, 10 goals, 16 points in 17 games. That dude is just talk about earning your next paycheck even more. Like,
Verhaeghe,
yeah,
he's got
True.
6 goals again. Like,
Yeah.
he scored, and I think he's got 4 game winners. He just scores extremely
He's-
clutch goals.
clutch. Yeah, he's Mr. Clutch. But would you say like Bennett's the best player for Florida? Because I'd say so.
Barkov just does things that he can't do, I think.
Yeah.
Still
fair.
to this day. What he did to Orlov
Yeah.
for Verhaeghe's game winner to eliminate Carolina, shielding off Orlov like he was a child at a playground, and then finding Verhaeghe perfectly through the seam, backhand, cross crease, backdoor, just who he is as a player is more important. Like if Bennett got injured today, they would make up his offense with a team effort. They couldn't replace Barkov if he went out.
That's true.
So, but yes, what he's second best. I'll give him second best. Absolutely. Like, for sure. I don't want to
Before-
disrespect him at all because he's
Before we get
killing
too
it.
far into the Panthers, do we want to roll that clip and hear why Chris Knobloch thinks the Oilers will be able to shut down their physicality?
Sure, go for it.
Our share of players that like that physicality too. Certainly don't think we're shy from that play. Even last year, I think our team's a little bit made up a little bit different than it was last year. But probably the best way to counter that is just moving the puck well. You know, the longer you hold on to it, the more time they get in and finish their checks. So I think it's important that we're moving it quickly, but also precisely.
So credit to Oilers YouTube for that clip and the earlier clip of McDavid. What do you guys think about what Knobloch said there?
That's a load of garbage. They have 4 guys under 5'8" on their team. Arvidsson, Skinner, Stetcher. There's someone else.
Oh,
Not under 5'8".
But who are their physical guys? Nurse, Frederick, like you said, like
Kane,
Yeah.
the
Perry.
most.
and Frederick's under 200
Is Perry
pounds.
physical or is he just annoying?
Perry's annoying.
Same
He's
with
not
Kane.
physical.
Is Kane really physical or does he play slightly hard hockey?
be.
But he's
can
more of
be.
a mouthpiece than he is like. He doesn't fight anymore. When was the last time Evander Kane dropped the gloves? 3 years ago?
Junior hockey.
Like,
Oh,
I don't know. Who on Edmonton should Luosterainen on Florida be afraid of? Realistically. Like one of their weaker
Brentford.
forwards. Like who?
Frederick.
He's like 5'10".
Yeah, he's not big.
Frederick is another. He's annoying. He's not tough. They don't have any.
Okay. I don't know.
Darnell Nurse's toughest play of this entire playoffs was slashing Hintz in the foot. He's their
Yeah,
biggest,
what?
toughest defenseman, and that was his big man move.
Fracturing
Isn't
buddy's
Ekholm
foot.
bigger?
Hey, what was that called?
Isn't Ekholm bigger? Isn't Ekholm bigger?
Yeah, but he doesn't play physical at all. He's all stick play all the
Yeah.
time. He's the Swedish makeup. Just like Hedman's 6'6", he has 2 body checks a year. Like,
True.
it's all stick play with those guys.
European hockey.
So I don't know.
Do
There's
you?
no comparison.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, but well, I don't know. We'll see. I guess. Like, do they need the physicality when they've got McDavid and Draisaitl?
Well, no, but that's what I mean. Like Knobloch himself is saying that they have guys that can play that game, and that which is not true. They play a different style of hockey, which is, yes, like you said, move the puck before the forecheck comes. That's what the Oilers are good at, right? But like
Yeah.
You get Connor McDavid in a corner with Ekblad and Jones, and they're going to be taking liberties on him that you don't want him to take. So. He might be frozen.
I think he is.
He has to.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's. Yeah, you can pause it. Just pause it.
Oh,
he's back.
Colton's back.
Are we good? Are we good? Are we good?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Go ahead and say your next thing.
Okay. So, do you know how everyone keeps talking about how Crosby went and lost in 08 and then won in 09, right?
Yeah.
Do you think McDavid does the same thing?
I think that what Pittsburgh built in 09 versus the juggernaut that was those 08-09 Red Wings, I think that Pittsburgh built a much better team that second year than what the Oilers have versus a team that got better in the Florida Panthers.
Yes, yeah, I think these are just two different, like way too different of times to compare. I think the Penguins going up against the Red Wings like that, it was like different. It was a different style of team too, I guess. I mean, they had the shutdown guys in like Lidstrom, Barkov, but and like Zetterberg, I don't know. I think Florida this time is just so powerful, and like Edmonton, I don't know. They don't face the same challenges that the old Pittsburgh team did, like against that Red Wings team, like with Osgood, a goalie that can actually win a series for you. I don't know. It's just there's too many differences, I think.
Yeah, I think they can do it. Will
That's
they
fair.
do it is a totally different question.
McDavid wants to do it. You could tell. He's
Yeah.
locked in. And I think if the guys don't buy in for him, I think he might want out.
No Hyman, though. I mean, did you guys see that Hyman hit stat? Maybe I brought it up on here already. But 82 games, 141 hits, 14 playoff games, 109 hits.
Wow.
Like, what a crazy. He's at like 8.5
Isn't that
hits
nuts?
a game or something. Like, he was buzzing out there. I don't know if they can replace him. That's the total X factor.
Bring back 2016 Zach Cassian. The Oilers need him. Do you remember that one shift he had against San Jose? He ran like 3 people over.
The shift.
One shift. One suspension. No more playoffs.
Pretty much, though.
No, he didn't even get suspended, did he? Oh, maybe he did.
No. But, like, that's what I mean. Is like, you on the faceoff, Alexander Barkov's kneecap, your stick. You get your name on the cup. We don't see you again. Like,
it's a hell of a way to do it. Okay.
Why not?
We gotta talk about the goaltending. Skinner versus Bob. Like, what do we realistically think happens here?
Well, these days off can be really bad for a guy like Stuart Skinner, who goes up and down.
Thank you. Yeah.
But also, Bob's career outside of last year, Bob's career has not been consistent almost his whole career. Right? He has lots of up games, lots of down games. So I think that they're two goalies that both could have an up and down series. I truly do think it's about which goalie is better the first 3 games. That's all that matters.
2. I think it's the first 2.
You think it's the first 2? Because I think if you lose on the road, but then you're at home, and you win 2, I think you're okay. But if you lose 2 and then you lose at home, like you're
No, you're right.
toast, right? So
They lost. Edmonton lost the first 2 last year, wasn't it? Yeah. And then, yeah. So no, I just was trying to think. They lost the first 2 games last year in Florida, and then they had to come back to Edmonton. Then they won, and then were able to. So I guess the first 2 games are okay. Like you can, as long as you can get to that third. Like the third game is probably what's more crucial than anything, right? Because it's either going to be like a 2-1 series at that rate, or it's going to be a 3-0 series for a team. So
yeah, exactly.
yeah, okay, I get that. So I don't know, like, and Bob's been outstanding. Like he's been good. He put up some of his best numbers ever in the playoffs in that last series against Carolina too. Like,
Yeah.
we'll see. But I mean, Skinner does that weird shit too, though, where he goes like loss, shutout, loss, shutout, right? So
Inconsistency.
Yep.
it's a word.
Well,
Yeah.
until his back-to-back 1 goal against games, he was either 4 goals against or a shutout in these playoffs. And when he won, he was obviously a shutout, and when he lost, his save percentage was .834 or less.
Yeah. Weird.
Like, and then realistically, he's only had 3 things happen. He's either had 4 goals scored against him, 1 goal scored against him, or a shutout. He still hasn't had 2 or 3 on the board at the end of the game. So it's just bizarre.
Maybe this whole series is decided by goaltending. Maybe this is just a goalie series, right? Like if Skinner falls off and then Florida just dummies them for 4 games, right?
Yeah.
The offense, though.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think
Florida only
McDavid's
lost
going to
5
let it
games.
happen, man.
I don't think so either. I think McDavid and Draisaitl are going to actually maybe tear this playoff series up, especially if they get chances on the power play. That's where they can succeed.
You go back to that video that they did, right? The Amazon Prime series, where how mad McDavid was at the end of that shit, right? Like, I don't think they're going down without a fight this time. And it's like Ryley kind of said, like, if players aren't going to show up, then McDavid's probably just going to start calling shots and calling Jeff Jackson or whoever, Stan Bowman, and being like, get this player the fuck out of here, or I'm leaving, right? Like, it's the buy-in mentality, but I don't sense that not being a thing. I think every single player on that Oilers team is fucking bought in for this year, right? And you're kind of seeing it. So with that said, predictions, fellas. Let's get to that. I personally, I'll start it off. Oilers in 6. I think they get it done this year. 6 games. They'll win it on the road.
The hockey gods say Oilers in 7 because they'll have to go to 7 games again, and they'll be on the right side of the coin flip this time. But like, they have to beat the Panthers 4 times. The Panthers have lost only 5 games in these playoffs. Like, they have to beat them 80%
technically not
of how many they've lost. Like, they lost 3 to the Leafs, 1 to the Lightning, 1 to the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
And, a team that has 30-plus points from the back end, 15-plus goals from the back end, and that's not even talking about their forwards, like you said, with Bennett, 10 goals, 60 points. Like, every win versus Carolina, 5-plus goals. They just
think about, that's a good way to put it.
They just, not only are they the best defensive team at shutting guys down, they're also the best goal scoring team. So it's going to be, I still think Oilers. I want to pick the Oilers. That's my goal too. But I just want to throw caution to the wind, everyone out there. I don't think, other than the Oilers, I don't think I picked a winning series the whole playoffs. Like, I had Minnesota, I had Tampa, I had Ottawa that I wanted to win. Like, everyone who I've been cheering for.
Yeah.
I cheered for Montreal the first series. Like, everyone I've been cheering for.
Everybody
I
you
cheered
cheered
for Toronto,
for
they
lost.
lost. Cheer for Carolina, they lose. Right? Like, I guess I was cheering for Carolina versus Washington
Yeah.
too.
Which one of you was cheering for Toronto?
Versus Florida? Me.
Both of you, wasn't it?
I was for sure.
That was me.
Yeah. That's all I got to
Yeah,
Nah.
but they
say.
took them to 7.
Yeah. Well, where are they?
Yeah, they're right where everyone else is.
On the golf course.
Yes, sir.
That's actually true. 3 days
Golfing.
later, did you guys see that? 3 days later, they spotted the Leafs team at a golf course outing. It was like, boys, go somewhere else to golf. You can't go out in Toronto after you get eliminated. Like, fly down to Mexico and go golfing. At least you won't have your picture blasted everywhere. Oh, it was bad. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for watching episode 65 of the Gameday Tarts podcast. Like I said, subscribe, follow us on all social media, hit us up on all those audio platforms. Please, we'd love to get some more listens going on out there as well, rather than just views on here. And watch these two live tomorrow, GDT Live. And who's your guest again?
Well, this video will probably be out after we'd go
Well,
live.
that's
true.
not going to matter because this episode will be out.
Okay.
Well, go watch the live back and watch who they interview. Which is
James Stubb,
Yeah.
Medicine Hat Tigers reporter.
There we are. All right. Thanks again, everyone, for watching, and we'll see you in episode 66 of Gameday Tarts podcast.